Hello, my friends. Today we are playing with the brand new collection called Glimmering Flowers. These are a collection of 3 glimmer hot foil plates. 2 of them are extra large floral plates and coordinating stencil sets. They're 5x7, which a lot of people have been asking for 5x7 items. And so these are nice 5x7 stencils. And the plates themselves are also quite large. And the collection also comes with glimmer curved sentiments with dies. So I'm going to pop the image of the collection on the screen here so that you can see them in the entirety. And then I'm going to just show you and give you an idea of what we're doing today. As you can see, the collection is gorgeous. These are beautiful flowers. The peony and the buttercup are just stunning. And what we're going to do in today's video is actual partial stenciling, is what I'm calling it. I have glimmered these, just portions of them, onto A2 size cards. So I know people are wanting the 5x7 cards, but people also love A2. And I want to show the versatility of 5x7 because I would also like to have more products in 5x7 because you can do both. You have the 5x7 size, so you could do the larger and the smaller. That's what I love about our embossing folders. They're 6x8, so you can do slimline, you can do the 5x7 cards, you can do your A2 cards, your 6x6 cards. It's just wonderful to have the options that a 5x7 or a 6x8 gives you. So that being said, I have a pre-foiled card front here. I have just portioned a small bit of the glimmer plate here in the corner, and then I'm using one of the copper plate sentiments here on it, which I'm using in all of my samples today. These are just stunning. This is a collection that was previously released, a glimmer collection. Well, it's actually a Betterpress, but I have chosen to glimmer it, and it coordinates with these glimmer plates beautifully. So I will have everything linked down below, so if you see anything that you're after, those links will be down there for you for your convenience. So anyways, I've done this. Something else I'm going to show you today in my cards at the end is 3 levels of cards. Clean and simple, which this one is. Stepped up a little, stepped up a little more. So kind of 3 options of ways you can turn this partial die cutting into, different levels of cards. So that'll come towards the end of the video. So stick around and stay till the end so you can see all 3 of the finished samples. So the only trick really to this is trying to line up your stencil, because since I moved the plates all around to get the look I wanted to on my paper when I was foiling it, I'm not going to be stenciling like this, like you would normally just put your paper down, put your stencil down, and start stenciling. So on this one, I've actually figured out that it's this bloom that I'm doing, but it's actually this way. So every time I get a stencil, I'm going to have to turn it around. And once you know that, then the rest is simple. So I have all the numbers down in the bottom left, so I know all of these are going in the right direction. So your numbers down here, I know it's this bloom, so I'm going to turn this around like this, line this up here. I am using my waffle flower grip mat to hold my paper in place. I'm going to line this up perfectly. And I'm using some Altenew inks today. And I'm going to push this down. You can see how it suctions on there beautifully. So now my stencil is in place also. Love that. Another good thing about having the larger stencils So I am going to go ahead and take my lightest blue. This happens to be Iceberg. And I'm just gonna ink that off just a little bit so we make sure we have a nice light blue. And I'm gonna go ahead and just give this a little dusting. I don't like to go all the way to the edge. I like to leave a little light, just like when I'm Copic coloring or using any kind of medium. I like to leave that white light source there at the tips of my flowers. So I'm just gonna leave that. And then I'm gonna take my next one, which is Ultramarine. And I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more. Not quite as far. One thing I like about these Altenew blending brushes is you can control how much ink you're laying down, which is really nice. Okay. And then I will do just a tiny bit of Sapphire. And I'm just gonna hit the center there. And I might take a little bit of Iceberg, get all that ink off there, and just kind of lightly dust over all of it like that, just to kind of give it a nice little blend. There we go. Now I did my samples in Tuscaloosa, Alabama when I was actually out of town. I'm not 100% sure I'm using the same exact ink pads. So these may or may not completely match my samples at the end of the video, but that's okay. The recipients will not all be the same people. So that was Stencil 1. Very pretty. So now we are going to Stencil 2. I'm going to turn this around again. Going to line this up again. Now it's up to you if you want to do these the same color. You could have done that first stencil maybe just in the light and medium and then come in here and done this one just in the dark. Or you could not blend at all and just color it all one color if you're not confident in blending. The sky's the limit. You are the artist, so whatever floats your boat. I happen to just love gradients in my coloring, so that's the reason I'm going from light to dark. But if you just want to color this first one light and this second one dark, that's okay too. And it's very pretty when you do it that way. So don't be scared of all this if that is something you've never done before. So I'm going to do it the same way so my flower petals match, but I've done it both ways and it's both very pretty. So I'm just going to give this a quick dusting of the light. I just picked up a little excess on the glass mat though there. Absolutely love, 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 love my glass mat from LDRS Creative. Okay. So I'm going to grab my Ultramarine, which I believe, yep, is that one right there. And do a little extra. Something else too is the inks themselves actually the foil resists the ink, so it's not going to contaminate the ink or stain the ink. So that's a nice thing also about stenciling over your foil. I did pull some of that sapphire off that. I don't know if you noticed me doing that. I really didn't need to get that, but I thought I would deepen it a little bit. And I'll go ahead and do what I did on the other one and take, actually, let me make sure that super dark is not on there. And just kind of blend out just a little bit, just so those three colors are Let's see how that looks. Good. See, I put a little extra dark in there in between these petals, and it really gave it a little pop there. Okay, so we will do that. Now, this one, I just noticed something. Let's see. When we had this one here, check this out. We did not get this. I'm just doing a super simple because it's so tiny. So I'm just going in there and filling it in. So we have some blue there. Okay, and I'm noticing here too that there's a little white right there. I'm not really worried about that. It kind of makes it look like a highlight actually. So I'm going to go to this stencil, and here again we've got to think of our rotation. So let's see. Okay, when you rotate it like that, then you see, okay, those leaves do jump out at you. So here we are here. Okay, so we're going to put our blues away because we're changing over to our greens. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up a little bit so we get this blue off of here. Okay. We don't want to contaminate that. Don't want to accidentally do that. All right. Make sure there's no blue on my fingers. And there is. Okay, so I'm going to line this one up with the green. Piece of stencil there. Okay, rub that one down. We'll take limeade here. And these are really thin ones here. So, not too worried about getting lots and lots of dimension on here. Maybe add just a little extra. Okay. Nope, there's a little more right there. A little right there. Okay, that's that one. One thing about this partial also, I just realized this one too. Let me see. The one thing about this partial die cutting or partial stenciling also is that it goes a lot quicker. So that's nice too. Okay, so we're going to line these stems up now. And that helps with this one here going in this direction. Like so. Rub that down real good. Take this light one, which is lime. Go ahead over that. And I'm going to go straight into, what is this one? This is limeade, and this is lime. Lime is a little darker than limeade is. Okay. Now I'm not even going into the French leaf. I don't even think I need it on this little stuff. And then we'll turn this one over, and this one will get our last leaves. And look how simple this was. to do this one down here first because it's really close to that blue right there, and I don't want to mess that up any. Then I'm going to make sure this is lined up here. They look like they were just a tiny bit off. So sometimes when they're a little laser cut off just a tiny bit, I will do them separately. Okay, add just a little bit of that lime. And then we'll pull that up and reveal. Let me look at that. Fix it. Okay. So here is our partial foiling and stenciling. So this is a finished card front. You could just put this on a white card base and your card is done. Now for my other designs, let me pull those out here and let me show you how I finished them. Let me close up my inks. Do not want any of my inks to transfer. This orange is in the other ones because the other ones had the center of the flower open. So let me grab a towel here and clean up this ink so we have no ruining of the completed samples. And I will show you them real quick. Here is my clean and simple. I used a different one of the sentiments and I did a bottom border, hot foil and stenciling. Here's a little stepped up version, still a bottom border, a little higher up, then a framed in gold, a framed sentiment and a framed card base. So that's just stepping this up, which is very similar to what we did today, except this one is the different, this is the different plate. This is the buttercup, and I believe this is the peony. So that's the reason they look a little different, I believe. But there's two sets. So this one here has the center, which has the orange in it. Then for the last card, I stepped it up quite a bit. I used an embossing folder here from the Propagation collection that's also released this month. I used the notch corner die to cut out the sentiment, which is also from the Copper Plate collection. I used a strip of gold foil to separate my partial hot foil here from my embossing piece here. And it just really did all that, and it really stepped up the whole entire card. So you can have pure elegance and have a lot of white space and it be gorgeous. You can have a little extra layers, or you can have lots of extras. And you could even jazz this up with embellishments as well if you wanted to. You could do that on all of them if you wanted to. So those are my 3 cards for today. I'd love to hear which one's your favorite. And if this video was helpful for you today, I thoroughly enjoyed making these cards. I really have fun thinking outside the box and designing these for you. So I hope you have an amazing day and come back and see me. I look forward to having you visit. Have a great day, friends. Bye-bye.